Today I am with Mr. Will Hunt, drummer from Evanescence among other bands.
You guys have been on the road so much this past year, and now you're finally back in Australia. Are you excited to get the tour started and play your first show?
We stopped touring December 20th in the United States and took Christmas off, the family, and then came back, had January off, and then this is the first time back since we stopped. So this is the first show. So for Australia, and we just rehearsed yesterday. So yesterday was rehearsal, tonight's the first show, and let's hope there's no crazy monkeys involved tonight. That we get it right.
You just picked up Evanescence again. You're now starting a major tour with a new vibe using a symphony orchestra. What is it about Evanescence's original sound that is different from other bands that you've performed alongside?
So, obviously, I think, I've said this before, I think that Evanescence is a band, there's not too many bands this that kind of came from a heavy background that are able to do, that I think could pull this off. I mean, anybody can play with an orchestra, but to do it where it's completely stripped down and rebuilt and completely this whole other thing is completely different. So this, I think it's something that sets this band apart from a lot of the other bands that maybe came out at the same time that we came out. And then, to add to that, I guess that makes, from a lot of the other bands that I've played in, it makes this band so much different. Is that we're able to do so many different styles and genres, and it makes it exciting because it keeps it interesting. It's not the same thing all the time, and we can always, at some point, we will go back to playing some hard rock shows and stuff like that. But it's nice to be able to go in and out of things and keep it interesting. We all get bored pretty easily.
Apart from Evanescence, you have been in other bands such as White Noise Owl and Rival City, where you teamed up with one of America's X Factor finalists, Jeff Gutt. This continued to broaden your experiences. Did it also inspire a change in your drumming? Perhaps to a style people weren't used to?
So, White Noise Owl, we have something new coming out, and it's like I love it because I've got 3 bands that I'm very involved in: Evanescence, White Noise Owl, and Rival City, and they're all very different. None of them are the same, which is cool. I really like that. Rival City was an interesting thing because I knew the bass player through a mutual friend, and he called me and said, "Hey, I'm doing this band, and we need to retrack the drums for this album because our drummer quit." And he told me who it was, and I didn't know who Jeff Gutt was. So I YouTubed him and saw him on the X Factor. And interesting story about Jeff is that he's now the singer in Stone Temple Pilots. So we're still doing Rival City, but Rival City's kind of on a bit of a holding pattern until Stone Temple Pilots, gets into their tour, and then we'll start finishing our record. And White Noise Owl, we're working, we've got a video that just came out called Something. It's on YouTube. It's available on Spotify and iTunes, and we're releasing the rest of the record probably in the next 2 to 3 months. So look out for that. That's new stuff. Good new stuff.
You are from a family where both your parents are musical. You wanted to play guitar like your dad, but you realized drums were more suited to you. Tell me about playing music with your dad and his band.
I tried to play guitar, wanted to. That was a general idea, but I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't. Maybe I was too young. I don't remember. But my dad's a great guitar player, and I got to play with him. And then I think about the time I was 8 years old, he had a band that would rehearse in our not a basement, it was like a split level home. They had a little music room down there, and they would rehearse down there. So I occasionally would go down there. I guess they thought I was good enough at 8 to sit in and play with them. And I think that's where I learned a lot of my feel, because they were a blues band. And so I was just playing straight blues with these guys that were, 28, 29, 30 years old. It was a good experience, a lot of fun. My dad still breaks out the guitar all the time. We still make music together, and it's a really awesome thing. Something really cool to share.
I've been going through your social media and came across a video of you laying down some heavy giant tracks, and man, you are bloody good at what you do.
Damn.
I heard you just taught yourself by listening to records and copying the drums. What were some of the records that stood out?
Well, first, thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate that. And I had teachers. Like I did, like a lot of what I did was, once I got to a certain point with playing, I started to kind of figure things out on my own. But I did have a lot of teachers. I started playing when I was 5 and took private lessons. When I started taking a lot of private lessons when I was about 8, and really learned a lot, from that. You have to have a foundation. Some people are really good and can pick it up and just do it, and I wasn't one of those people. But I'm glad that I had the instruction, because it made it make sense to me, so I understood it and I could grow with it. And I wasn't frustrated because I had somebody to ask, hey, what's this? What's that? So I would recommend taking private lessons to everybody if you can. It's very helpful. But I grew up playing like the Kiss records, the Van Halen records, yes. The Police. I really liked Stuart Copeland with his phase when I played a lot. That's all I would play. Rush. Just anything I could get my hands on, and then later Motley Crue, Rat, stuff like that. The good 80s metal. Led Zeppelin, obviously. Maybe some Genesis, stuff like that.
You now do workshops where budding drummers can learn from the cream of the crop. What is the #1 tip for drumming and some advice for beginners?
Well, like I said, private lessons are a good thing if you can afford them. But now, if you can't afford them, even if you can just go once a week, it's awesome for a half hour. But if you can't afford them, there's a lot of information on YouTube that you can get. And YouTube's a great place to go look if you want to learn how to play things. But my suggestion for people just starting to learn how to play, beginners, is, keep it simple, And if you're into rock and roll, the best place to start to me is like Highway to Hell by AC/DC, because it's such a simple beat, but it really is about the feel. Learn to play that, and then go from there. Don't try to play, System of a Down or Slipknot, right out of the gate. You have to start simple and then work your way up. That'd be my suggestion.
Well, it has been awesome. What I like to do is finish my interview on a segment called Marlena's Minute. If you could please read and answer as many questions as possible on the cards in the minute time frame. Pass if you need to.
Okay.
So, show the camera.
Okay.
Read them out, and quick is good.
Okay.
So many we can get through.
First, just from this side or both sides?
Whatever. Yeah, that's
okay.
Right. Yep.
So soft pillow or hard pillow? Soft pillow or hard pillow? 3 soft pillows. Okay. My pet hate is REO Speedwagon. I don't like that band. I don't know why they get under my skin. You neither, huh? Yeah, no way, dude. You like Van Halen. Hell yeah. Okay, the one item of food I must have in my fridge is avocados. We'll go with avocados. It's good for you.
15 seconds.
Okay, what is your typical breakfast? Avocados and toast, or Greek yogurt. The last thing I Googled was the water place here in Brisbane, where I went to this afternoon.
Last one.
First car, a Volvo, not sexy.
And that's done.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, man. I almost got through.
again if you throw your drumstick in the crowd tonight. Bet on me getting it on brutal in my chair in the front row.
I'll make sure that you get one.
Have an awesome tour.
Thank you very much. Very nice to meet you.